2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Blair Athol or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
Hey, podcaster, fun one tonight. We always say that. But we did do our BS radar where we got some incredible stories from people and also more incredible stories from people's secrets that they'd kept from their mum. Enjoy.
Previously on Ben, Liam and Belle.
I stumbled across my dad's stash going through his iPad, video recordings of on the TV. Sorry, adult content.
The most dad thing ever.
And now, live across Australia, this is Ben, Liam and Belle.
That would have been the worst because you just hear your dad sort of breathing through his nose on the iPad as he's recording.
On Nova.
Good evening, Australia. We want to kick it off tonight on 13/24/10. What was your day before dilemma? Did something big happen right before the day? That's what we'd love to know. Because imagine this. You've got your wedding tomorrow and then it's over. That's what happened to a former Big Brother contestant. She has split from her partner the day before the big 3-day wedding.
You know, I reckon that's pretty bad, but that's like better than when people get married and they've been together for like a week. You just go, oh, why'd you do that? You know what I mean? Like, this is it's
They
not
got together.
good.
They got together in 2021.
Oh, you're saying it's a COVID one.
Well,
It's a COVID one.
Nah,
What's a COVID
one? It's one of those ones where it's like not really real. No, so you know what I
Okay,
mean?
so
So-
say that to all the COVID babies.
Yeah, they're not real either. That's what I mean. Like that, you know, there's going to be problems arising in a few years. No, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Ben joins us in Melbourne. What happened right before the wedding?
Well, it was the morning of the wedding. It was the hottest day on record in Melbourne prior to Black Saturday back in 2003. And about 9 o'clock, we got a phone call from the hire car company saying the vintage Rolls Royces we booked wouldn't run because it was too hot and they were overheating and they hadn't started.
Oh.
And we were supposed to be there by 12 and it was 9 o'clock.
Oh.
So it was a little last minute. It was very last minute. So they were very apologetic. They tried to find us a car, and I ended up going in my car. And my bride-to-be, they found her a really old, crappy, it was like a high school limo type thing. And the air conditioning in that failed. But they only came up with that 20 minutes before we were supposed to leave.
That's not a Rolls Royce, is it?
Yeah, not when you're pulling up in a Kia Rio. Not as good for the videos. I always find it hard to hear about people's weddings as well. And they're like, oh, the cars didn't work. Because I'm like, my venue flooded out.
True.
Well, that's true,
My
Liam.
Yeah, it was really fun.
What was yours was the day of dilemma.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so that's why I didn't call in. But my whole wedding flooded out. Didn't even get to go into the tent. Yeah.
Well, look, it could be wedding day. It could be another big day in your life. We want to know tonight. 13/24/10, day before dilemmas.
Kylie in Melbourne. This was a day of one. What happened?
So we actually, my now ex-husband, had an electrical storm. So he lived in Sydney and I lived in Melbourne. And, that night before the wedding, he got caught in an electrical storm and he couldn't fly out.
Also, the wedding just didn't go ahead.
Oh, well, no, we ended up getting married, but it was just we didn't know what was going to happen if you could make it for the day because of the electrical storm that night. The night
Kylie,
of.
it sounds like you're calling from an electrical storm right now. I don't even really know what they are, but I could. Yeah, that was
I guess the thunderstorm, right?
That's just a storm, with lightning.
There was a rough phone line there. Lauren in Sydney. This is before the honeymoon. What happened?
Yes, I got sick with a chest infection and ended up in hospital on my honeymoon.
Oh, no.
Man.
Where was the honeymoon?
It was in Portugal, a little island called Madeira, so the hospital was pretty basic.
Oh, no. And how long were you, or how many days of your honeymoon did you miss because of it?
Probably just the one. I thought I had popped one of my ribs out. From coughing so much.
Hang on, how do you do that?
Well, it's a honeymoon, Belle, so let's not get into it. I'm sure they're little adventurous.
Jody, good evening. Now, this was the day before your wedding day. What happened?
There was an event the day before, and the reception centre burnt down.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Sounds like a wild event. What happened? What were they doing?
It was actually a police event. It was like an end of year because it was in December, but they didn't do anything. A gas bottle exploded and it went up in flames.
Yeah, I'm sure they knew how to cover it all up. I reckon they had fireworks. They're like, oh, this is funny. We know the fireys have also got their breakup, so we'll make them leave theirs and come here. Andrew in Melbourne. This is before a big trip. The day before, was it?
Yeah, so I had a tour booked in Vietnam. I flew in the day before, and it turned out my visa was for the next month.
Oh, no, Andrew.
But surely that's just a bit of paperwork. They probably could have fixed it up. Yeah.
A guy in a black suit appeared from behind the military and said if I gave him $500 that I'd get a visa.
See, that's what I mean. I love that. Yeah, it's good in Asia. You can bribe your way through a little thing.
That is scary. Melissa, good evening. What was your day before dilemma?
So it wasn't the day before, it was the day of. Unfortunately, in the middle of Mum and Dad's wedding vows, on video recording, my brother started hurling in the background and then everyone got gastro at the wedding.
Oh, just gastro outbreak at the wedding.
Yeah, so poor Mum, the night of her honeymoon, she got gastro. So,
yeah. But I suppose if people ask, she's like, oh yeah, we were up all night, after the wedding.
Yeah, it was a sick day.
The Ben, Liam and Belle podcast.
God, I had a shocking encounter last night. Real rude hospo worker, Ben and Belle. Possibly one of the worst I've ever encountered, I think.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, I was at it wasn't like a pub. It was I would say it's like a bar, a nice bar. I was there with my wife. We're having dinner, and then I went up to get us both a drink. And when I went up to the bar, the guy was on his iPad leaning on the back of the bar.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like his iPad. Like it wasn't like, didn't look like the property of the venue.
A little cover on it and you could
tell.
tell.
Yeah. It looked like his iPad. And he didn't look up, so I didn't even know if he'd seen me. So I did like a fake cough to get his attention.
Yeah. Yep.
You would assume he would look up, put the iPad down, and start doing his job. And he did not look up, did not acknowledge me, and I felt like I was in his periphery. I think he knew I was there. So he's still on his iPad for a little bit, and I was just sort of waiting there. And then I said, "G'day, mate. I just wanted to get a drink." And he said, "Just give me a second."
Well, that's okay. He might be doing something.
And stayed on his iPad.
Whoa.
But he said, "Just give me a second," and he didn't even look up. He didn't even break eye contact. And now we are going to play a game of this.
What was the barman doing on his iPad?
It's a multiple choice. Ben and Belle, what was the barman doing on his iPad? Was he A, ordering flat pack furniture? Was he B, watching street fights on Reddit? Was he C, playing online snooker? Or D, reading a Nigella Lawson recipe for lemon chicken mignon?
I'm leaning towards online snooker because if you're playing online snooker, you're probably playing a real person and you can't pause the game, which is why he couldn't turn around to serve
Even
you.
to speak to a paying customer.
That's what I think.
Who wanted an overpriced cocktail.
Yep.
Okay, what do you think, Belle?
I think he was ordering flat pack furniture because when you're in it and you're like, right, we're just going to finish the order. Like, you're so close.
He's at work, remember? He's
Yeah, but
not
you're
at
like-
home.
You're
Like,
so
he's-
close. You're making the transaction. We're done. And then it's done. And you can tick it off and then you can do what you need to do.
Okay, well, one of you is right. And it is definitely not Belle. Ben, you're right. The dude was just finishing a game of online snooker. He was right. He was just like pocketing the last few balls. Just give us a minute. And I could see, because he didn't even like hide it, because he put the iPad down when he was like, what do you want? And I could see the game. I could see his high score. Insane.
You like that feeling in your ear holes?
That's the Ben, Liam and Bell podcast.
Last night, we were talking about rude tattoos, and we got some incredible calls. If you missed it, that's in the Ben, Liam and Bell podcast. But we actually want to speak to a man now named Milo, who has given us a buzz because he's got a rude piercing. Milo, what have you got?
This is a little bit crazy. I hope my mum's not listening to this because she doesn't know about it yet.
Ooh.
But my best friend dared me to actually go and get a brand new piercing. And she's very extreme in her kind of dares, and she dared me to go and get a piercing kind of down below.
No.
So I went and got my Prince Albert pierced.
No.
Do you still have it, Milo?
I do. 6 years on, I've still got it, and it's like it's a part of me now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
So when the piercing's not in, I just don't feel right. I feel kind of naked without it.
So you take it out sometimes, then put it back in.
I hope my mum's not listening to this, but if I'm kind of like having a bit of a, sexual experience with somebody, some people like it and some people don't. So some people ask me to take it out and some people kind of like it. So.
Has it ever got, during one of those experiences, has it ever got caught?
No. So the jewelry that I actually have, it's kind of surgical jewelry. So it's kind of designed to not kind of get caught, and then with like the lubrication. It's a little bit wild. I can't believe I'm saying this on air. But...
Neither can we, Milo. I don't know if we've ever had some with the old PA done before. I mean, bit of a cliche, but airports, does it go off?
No, it's never gone off, but as long as you use surgical jewelry, it doesn't actually go off.
That's the thing, Milo. That's what they normally say at the airports. You know, it's laptops, phones out, belts off, Prince Albert's out.
Can I propose something, actually?
Yeah.
13, 24, 10. What's something your mum doesn't know?
Yeah. I like that.
Because,
what doesn't your mum know?
What have you been keeping? What doesn't she know? Specifically mums. What doesn't your mum know? 13, 24, 10. Milo there has a Prince, what is it? Prince Albert.
It's a prince.
I almost said Alfred.
That's a pub in Melbourne.
That's why.
Jamie in Melbourne joins us now. What doesn't your mum know about you?
So my mum and also my mate's mum don't know that when my mate was on a family holiday, me and a few of the boys might have broken into their place and had a 2-day house party.
Sick one. Yeah, right.
Aww.
What was it like? Was it like Corey level? How many people rocked up?
Probably about 40.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's solid numbers for sure. And like, how old were you at the time?
I was about 18.
Yeah. Prime time for a house party at someone else's house.
Well, Jamie, thank you for coming clean.
Celine, what doesn't your mum know about you?
I have smoked a bit of the devil's lettuce with a famous Queensland band.
Oh, right. Would we know the band?
I'm not going to mention the band. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you say famous Queensland band, one comes to mind for me. You don't have to say, but I just like to imagine that.
Yeah, so I was kind of just driving up to Sydney for work, and my friend was doing Uber, and they were like, would you like a puff? And then my friend's like, oh, my best friend's actually a really big fan of yours.
Right.
And they're like, oh, does she want a puff?
Yeah, right. And then they burned your name across the sky in a big fat doobie, did they? Yeah. My head just went to Powderfinger. I don't know. It might not be Powderfinger. I mean, we can't confirm or deny, but it's a fun thought.
Well, Celine can confirm.
Well,
no,
yeah.
we won't push you. We won't push you.
Hopefully we'll get you off air.
Celine, thank you very much for sharing.
Tiana joins us now.
Bit of a curly one.
I wouldn't have thought so. It looks like a pretty standard name to me, but yeah, it confused Ben a little bit, but that's okay. What doesn't your mum know about you, Tiana?
So when we were kids, so I have two younger siblings, we used to play with like gold in the dirt and stuff, and we found my mum's engagement ring, and we were playing with it and lost it down a water pipe. And we tried to get it out with a stick, and we couldn't. And still to this day, I'm 24 this year, and she still doesn't know. She thinks she just lost it.
So she, sorry, Tiana, you said she thinks she just lost it somewhere. She just blames herself.
Yeah.
Whereas you played a game where you put it in some dirt and dug it up.
Yeah, and like just pretended we found gold.
I
And
love that.
yeah, we put it down a water drain and we couldn't fish it back out, and it was gone for
I mean, surely you could try and find someone to fish it out. I mean, it's such an important...
Again, Tiana, thank you for calling and sharing with us. That takes a lot. Kate in Melbourne, good evening. Confess to us something that your mum doesn't know.
I got 2 tattoos for my 50th birthday.
Ooh, okay. What are they?
I got 2 little hearts and the 1111 symbol. Only little ones.
Oh,
What's the
right.
1111
Make a wish on 1111.
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
I see
do
it all the time.
Yeah, Kate, no, I'm totally with you. Whenever it's 11:11, I always
Yes.
make a wish.
Kate, that's not so bad. Is your mum super anti-tattoo or?
Yes, I'm the first one in the family to ever get one.
What do you think she would say to you if she found out or she was listening now?
Oh, very cross. Very, very cross.
Well, Kate, we actually have a bit of a surprise. We have your mum on the other line. No, we don't. That would be.
I'm terrified.
That would be
I'm terrified.
excellent producing, but we didn't scrap that one
kids
together.
Yeah, my kids think it's so funny that I cannot tell my mum.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Well-
your kids know, but you're like, just don't tell
Yes,
grandma.
everyone else knows.
Kate, I'm glad you were brave enough to come on the radio and talk about it. I'm glad you didn't mention the tramp stamp, though. That might have pushed her over the edge.
Yeah, that little saucy number.
Hannah, good evening. What doesn't your mum know about?
Hello. So my whole life growing up, I did not know who my father was. And 8 years ago, he came into my work and I met him, and my mum still does not know that I know my dad.
Oh, right. You did one of those things. Like you just sort of came in and dropped the bombshell on you.
Yep, so I was just working at work. He comes in. I had no idea a name, what he looked like or anything like that. He was like, I'm so sorry to do this to you. This is my name. Do you know who I am? And I was like, no idea. Ended up doing a DNA test and it was 99.997% my father.
Wow. So, Hannah, why don't you want your mum to know? Why haven't you told her?
I grew up with my grandparents. And so for me, it was like having them was like having parents. And when I'd ask questions, I'd never got answers from my mum. And Nan and Pop never told me either, but it was one of those things that growing up it just wasn't talked about. My family's got, they need to talk more.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and Hannah, this is obviously pretty crazy, but I mean, you would obviously have thoughts over the years. Did your dad sort of maybe live up to what you thought? Like, did he rock up on a motorbike with flowing long blonde hair, or was it just like, oh, okay, that's
You know what? It was one of those things that I talked to my friends about it at the time and showed them a photo and was like, look, this has happened. This random guy has come in and said he thinks, this guy's my dad. And they were like, look at him. Like, you just look at him and we look very, very similar.
right.
They were like, you don't need a DNA test for that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
best case scenario, like he's settled, he's got kids and a wife, and I've been and met them. They're all super welcoming. It was honestly the best thing that could have happened.
Right. I mean, I'm glad it all worked out well in the end.
Good on you, Hannah. Liam, I think you confused a dad with a daddy in your scenario.
Yeah, I don't think everyone's like, I want my dad to be really hot and be on a motorbike.
You said long flowing hair.
I don't know. I was just trying to picture a really cool dad. I've got a cool dad, but he just doesn't have much hair. I was thinking.
You're listening to Len, BM and Lel.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Blair Athol or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
Oi, stop gooning. The next bit's about to start.
It's just Ben and Liam here. Belle stepped out for this next chat. Look, she's a vegetarian, and the guy we're about to speak to is eating a lot of meat this year.
Yeah, we really needed to get James, is his name, on the show. He's from Brizzy, and this year he set himself the challenge of eating 365 hot chickens.
Yeah, one a day. He's making his way around the country, heading to chook shops, servos, and supermarkets. He joins us now. James, What inspired you to do this?
I suppose I just want to have fun and enjoy my life and, yeah, eat some lunch.
Yeah, eat a lot of tradies' handbags along the way. So we sort of, what are we, like mid-Feb? You're about at the 50 chook mark. Are you getting sick of them already, or?
Nah, I reckon they're good. Every day I enjoy it more and more.
Do you have a go-to chook? Where do you go for your hot chickens?
No, so I want to keep it original each time. Ideally, I don't want to do any repeating. I have done, but I try not to. I want to get the full experience.
So you go to like a different local chicken shop each time, or sometimes you go to Coles or whatever, or how do you do it?
Well, I'm doing a lot of driving, but I get lots of different recommendations for places across Brisbane. And ideally, I'll take the show on the road and do Sydney, Melbourne as well.
Well, if anybody is listening, 13 24 10, if you have any hot chook spot recommendations for James, please give us a buzz. He would love to hear them. What's your favourite part of the hot chook?
Gin.
Oh, yeah, me too.
See, I'm a Parsons nose man.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what
Everyone
Parsons
says
nose is?
That's the thing.
It's the, he likes to eat the ass.
Gross.
Well, hey, mate, you're the one eating 365 of them, okay? It's that little bit. It's like where the feathers come out. You know that little. It's like a small bit of like fat and bone, basically.
It's like above the rump, kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
You
I'd assume that I'm eating it because, like, by the time I'm done, there's no meat left.
Bro, you're definitely eating them. I'm telling you, you've had 50 this year.
Are you getting stuffing in your hot chooks?
Yeah, but I don't eat it. I only eat the chicken element.
And are you doing the whole hot chook like in a sitting, or is it a whole hot chook across a day?
Well, it depends. So the one that I just had now was about 700 grams, which I can achieve that in a sitting. But I've had some of them that are real monsters, and they're, a kilo or more of meat, and it's too hard. You have to split it up and, have chicken for dinner as well.
What's your plan when you get to 365?
To be honest, I don't even have a plan for tomorrow. Besides eating a chicken.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
One chook at a time.
Yeah, that's it. Brick by brick, chook by chook. I love that.
What is it? I feel like Vin Diesel, except instead of, living life a quarter mile at a time.
Yeah, you live your life a hot chook at a time.
And instead of family, it's just hot chicken.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to give are you like documenting it on your Instagram?
Yeah, it's Daily Roast Chook.
I love an Instagram that does what it says on the tin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, James, all the best, mate, with the hot chooks, and we appreciate you coming on.
Righto, cheers.
After BAFTA, it's the Ben Liam and Bell podcast.
Here's what we want you to do, okay? 13 24 10. You give us a buzz and tell us a story. We'll tell you if it's BS or not.
I think we've got a pretty good radar. We had a guy on earlier with a Prince Albert. I believed him.
I did too.
I think that's an insane thing to do to your body, to get a piercing in the front of that. But, I was like, yeah, this guy seems like a straight shooter. You can always tell.
So if you call up 13 24 10, you tell us an unbelievable story, we'll try and guess if it's BS or not, because we want to do this again. The biggest BSer there was in Australia, Belle Gibson. Now, she's back on everybody's radar at the moment because there is the Netflix show all about her apple cider vinegar.
I was diagnosed with a stage 4 brain tumour. That was 4 years ago. Human beings are capable of anything. I was on a quest to heal myself naturally. I've learned to seek out what's raw and honest.
Start from when you first lied about having brain cancer.
Now, we'll be honest, I haven't watched it yet, but it's on my list and I'm ready to watch it this weekend and I'm so excited.
Just for my sake here, because I'm not super across the story, she was the one that fully lied about all of it, right? The whole thing was a lie.
Yep, she basically got given all this money. People were sending her money. She was like an influencer back before influencers were a thing. But she said that she had brain cancer, and then she naturally healed it drinking apple cider vinegar and doing all that. And then it came out that she'd been lying after she'd gotten all this money. So she is, as I said, the biggest BSer we know in the country.
But how did no one's radar go up 4 years? Then again, if someone says that, no one thinks they're lying about something that serious, I suppose. That's probably the murky thing.
Well, test us. 13 24 10. Give us a buzz. Tell us a story, and we'll tell you if it's BS or not. Last time we did this, we got a call from Adam.
Playing stupidly at schoolyard, and I spear tackled a kid so hard that he
He actually couldn't move, unfortunately, on the ground. Paramedics came, took him away, found out that he was okay, but they actually found a blockage in his heart, and they sort of said he could have dropped dead. And if I didn't tackle him, he wouldn't have come to hospital, which means he probably would have died. It's actually true, and I ended up winning one of the most prestigious awards at school because of it.
That was actually a true story. It was pretty far-fetched, but it was legit.
Incredible.
If you have got one, test us out. Maybe you think you're a great liar. Maybe you just genuinely have an amazing story. 13 24 10.
Amy in Melbourne, good evening. Let's test our BS radar. Tell us your story.
Hey guys, so I woke up after a big night in Vegas next to a stranger, and it turns out we got married. We got married by an Elvis impersonator. We accidentally borrowed an $800 bottle of champagne, and then 12 hours later, we got annulled, and I still don't know his name.
Oh, I mean,
I'm leaning towards that it's not BS, that it's true. What do you guys think?
Test the BS radar. I mean,
Let's find out.
I reckon
you're telling the truth.
Yeah, it actually is.
I mean, I know because I believe you in your voice, but the story is like a movie. Like, are you saying you seriously didn't recognize the person you woke up next to who you got married to?
Yeah, so there's photo proof and everything. Us on top of a blackjack table, the wedding certificate. It was a whole mess. The security wasn't happy about the champagne situation, but a little cash solved it.
Wow.
And literally, I still to this day do not remember what he did for work.
Is that a legally binding marriage, though, Amy? Did you have to get divorced, or it's fine?
No, so we had to get no. So it technically was, because in Vegas you actually can. You just got to sign a document. But then we just had to go back. But I know it was a pretty stressful morning.
Yeah, but they'd be so
looking back
used
now,
to it.
we're laughing about it. But no, you just got to go back, and it's just called annulled, and you just got to sign some documents.
Are you
But
still,
I
last
still kept
question,
the photo.
are you still in touch with the person, or do you never see him again?
Never saw him again.
Whoa.
Oh,
I
it would
mean,
be
that-
cute if you actually ended up falling in love and getting married in real life. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you want though for Vegas, isn't it? I mean, it's not what I specifically want, but I mean, it comes with the territory. You know?
Amy, that is a 10 out of 10 story. Thank you very much. Chris joins us now. Tell us your story.
Yeah, mate, I was playing footy and I kicked the ball to one of my teammates, kicked it a bit short, and he ended up hitting his head, getting concussion. He went to hospital for the concussion, and when they were doing scans, they found a brain tumour the size of an orange.
It's very similar to
It
the
is.
story we had
It's
last week.
extremely similar to the example that we used before.
Let's
yes.
let's get out the BS meter and see if you're telling the truth or not.
I think it's BS.
You reckon it's BS?
Yeah.
It's true.
Really?
No, it's true. Yeah, he actually, his wife at the time noticed some mood changes and things like that. And if I hadn't done such an ordinary kick, he wouldn't be alive today. So, he's 20 years now. He's still going. He's a bit rough. He's had quite a few operations, but it probably saved his life. That's one bad kick.
Wow.
We've done this now like 2 weeks in a row, and both weeks we've had a guy call up and say, yeah, I kicked the footy and I saved my mate's life, and I swear if we do it again next week and it happens again, nah.
I bet you can't keep a mewing streak for this whole podcast.
Oh, and definitely stick around, because up next in Smallsy's surgery, he's going to be hanging out with Miles Teller.
On 3, should we all say our favourite Miles Teller movie?
Yeah, let's do it.
So
3.
I'll say 1, 2, 3, and then we say.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Scream
War Dogs.
Queens.
What?
Scream Queens?
Scream Queens. It was actually a TV show, and he was in it with Nick Jonas and Ariana Grande, and it was great, and it's on Disney+.
Sorry, Bill, but that's no War Dogs.
But also, Top Gun Maverick, the beach scene, hello.
Yeah, all good, but War Dogs. You know what I mean? So I hope Smallsy's line of questioning is very War Dog steered, so we'll find out next.
He's opening up the surgery after this on Nova.
And that's it!
Like that podcast? There's heaps more to listen to if you just scroll back or download the Nova Player app.
Ben, Liam, and Bell.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Blair Athol or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.